Hello, everyone. This is High Priestess Jamila. And so this cannot be a long discussion today because I have like so much stuff that I need to do. But I meant to come earlier, but I ended up getting into some stuff earlier or running into some stuff earlier. So I wasn't able to come earlier, but I'm here now. And what I wanted to talk about was picking up the pieces of your life. If you have ever been broken by narcissism, either a narcissistic family, um, you know what, in the dynamic of the narcissistic family, first of all, what I want to say is that all narcissism is demonic. It's just the demon blocking the heart chakra. And trust me, it's very dangerous to the person. Narcissism should not be practiced long term, but there's a lot of them that have done that. But when you have a narcissistic family dynamic to where everybody in the family is a narc, or either you've got extended family, uncles, cousin, children, and they're all narcs, what it basically is it's a hidden demon, is what that is. So, and everybody that is involved with it thinks that they're so clever when everybody that is afflicted to that negative capacity by the narc demon, to the point where you're stalking family members, targeting each other, and, you know, doing things to each other, that demon is who's in control, not you. And so it's funny how narcs want control. So anyway, picking up the pieces of your life or either holding your life together. At some point, you're going to have to come out of the constant cycle of build, 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 and then tear down. Build, 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 and then tear down. Build. So that is the cycle, that the very unstable cycle that narcissism takes people and families through. And so you got to start learning to hold things together and not just always pick up the pieces. Now, some of y'all are at a point where you are trying to pick up the pieces of your life, okay? Because what's up, Terry Love? Hello. Because narcs, they can affect you everywhere from health wise. This is what causes the generational health curses on people. And this is factual. Drug addiction, alcohol addiction, financial problems, love problems. Okay, so, and then social problems. That's the main area where the narc wants to affect you, is socially. That's very important for them. Okay, and it's not just about, a lot of people think that it has something to do with YouTube. It has nothing to do with YouTube. YouTube just exposes the work that people need to do on themselves. It don't have nothing to do with no damn YouTube. This is all about the cycle that they've already done. Even before I came on YouTube, I can remember over and over again being put through a narcissistic abuse cycle. Uh, and it just seemed to have gotten worse and weirder as the years went on. So this is something that is demonic. There's no male of the family that knows what the fuck he's talking about. He himself needs to be exorcised of that demon. Okay, so just to let you guys know, we're not having this discussion because of weaknesses. We're having this discussion because I want to open you guys' eyes to understand that this is something that you can beat. Okay, now the domino effect that negativity does to your life, it seems to echo, and it has that ripple effect. And so this is what you're going to have to deal with. This is exactly what we're dealing with, very closely related to past life trauma. Both of them have to be cured the same way. Okay. Because at the same time, you'll notice that when you feel that narcissistic attack, you're having a past life transgression at the same damn time. So, though that is very real, but you handle it the same way. It's an echo. Okay. That's why we have past life transgressions, because it's an echo from the past. And that's why you can feel it. And sometimes that echo can last for months or years. Okay. So how come I ain't got nobody in here? It's only two of y'all up in here. Okay. Well, that's okay. So when it comes to surviving narcissistic abuse, number one, you got to stop with allowing the demon to use you to cause pain to others. So the truth is that at some point you're gonna have to fall out of the game of the narc. You're gonna have to, just say, "Hey, I'm gonna let you have this one, okay?" Because and literally sometimes you have to. Sometimes you can't, because narcs will do all sorts of things. You can't give in to everything that they do. They will mess with your kids. They will mess with your job. It's just, because they want to destroy. They can't understand why they shouldn't be doing that, because what are you trying to get revenge for? I mean, they can, like, I'm going to be honest with you, it's dangerous. It has caused more violence in more homes. I remember dealing with narcissistic abuse and psychic attack and demons and shit, and I was getting my butt whooped by my ex for some reason. It causes so much, it causes, arguments, confusion, chaos, and then also there's not a lot of reasoning. So you have to train yourself to not be so reactionary also, because that's what they're looking for. First of all, narcs are not queens and kings and all this shit. They're not. Their reasonability stopped developing at a certain age. Or they could be having a past life transgression. People that don't deal with their past life transgressions and regressions have such a hard time. And so, like, for example, my past life as Ma Barker, y'all know it was a lot of trauma coming in through that, because I was shot by the FBI at the end of my life. The lifetime that came up after that was even more tragic than that, but just as equally tragic, directly related to the past, I don't know, 300, 400 years. Because when I think back and connect with the previous lives before that, they were much better. So when you think about your past life regressions that you're connecting to, it doesn't mean, because a lot of people say, well, damn, I had this going on in this life and then now I got it on this life, I should just give up. You look, the fact that you are consciously aware of the fact that you can change those circumstances around for the better. You can. Anybody that tells you that you can't is lying to you. You can always make things better for yourself, because your purpose on this earth is a much higher purpose than, narcissism. And even because I was talking to somebody today and they was like, I feel like it's aliens in this world, demons in this world, and it's like you in the twilight zone. And we are in the twilight zone, because space is moving around us. So of course we're going to run into certain things, but I still feel like our higher selves gives us freedom and liberation. So in order for you to start actually healing from that, number one, the one thing that I can tell y'all is that y'all have got to stop. Y'all got to start admitting when y'all wrong. And it's not just the people that apparently do wrong, but it's the fact that it's wrong for you to not recognize that some of the experiences that you are having are demonic and being played out by mind control and all kinds of spirits, and people know how to control spirits. Okay. So it's not just witchcraft, it's also artificial intelligence. It's a lot of different things that we are dealing with at once. Okay. So, when you look at it globally and when you look at it universally, as far as what's going on in the universe, all of us can be the Seven of Cups. All of us can be the Seven of Swords. All of us can be the Seven of Pentacles. All of us can be the Seven of Wands. And the Wands is the last one, because I'm going to tell y'all something. Once you have decided to do something, it's where you have to understand also, a lot of y'all that are in y'all 40s and 50s, when you guys make a choice to do something or you set a goal, part of the reason why you're not meeting that goal is because it was never meant for you to meet that goal, basically. But it was meant for you to make sure that you met those goals. That's what was meant to do. They didn't want you to, but that doesn't mean that you can't. So that's the main thing that they seem to attack, because the way that the narc sees is that they want you to be in the weakest position possible, which is utterly ridiculous, because what good would you be to them or anybody else? Okay. And it's not weak in strength and willpower, it's weak in love. Okay. It's weak in that self-love, to where you have to notice what the hell is going on. I see a lot of people, they be in their 50s and 60s, they be like, everybody in this world fucked up. All these men ain't shit. All these women ain't shit. And it's like, that goddamn, that demon got you real, real, real low right now. Real low and lower vibrational and lower frequency. Yeah. For you to talk like that says that you've given up hope, trust, and every damn thing else. So you can't ever give up on that. And then also right now, I'm going to tell y'all something. Right now would be the perfect time for you to be setting goals that have to do with your life purpose, because right now everybody is under judgment. So depending on what done happened, and so I notice I've been drawing the judgment card and see judgment, past life transgression. So looking at the past life transgression, by the way, I've got a little talk. I've got a patron only video that's going to go up, and I don't really want to discuss that here because it's way too personal as far as my last personal life. But I want to share it with those of you that are really, really interested in, solving a lot of the issues that you have. I want to share that with you guys because, it will kind of let you know that there are certain things that you need to look at from your past life, and you need to pay attention to those things, and you need to know why you're even thinking about that, because some of the people that you run into, they're from your past life. Some of the people that y'all deal with, they are from your past life, and you have to investigate that stuff. You have to actually look into that stuff. You can't just sit there and ignore it and walk around blindly. Otherwise, you're going to always have that instability within yourself and within your life. So narcissists, they have, including your narcissist mothers or narcissistic elders, they don't want you to have what they didn't have, which they denied themselves for whatever stupid reason. So everybody is given the power to rise above that, and they work real hard at it. They work real hard, real hard. Once they decide you a sacrifice, that's it. But again, your life was your life to choose. And a lot of people would decide, well, I ain't gonna get into that because they done put everything behind chains, and I ain't about to sit up here and cut my mama head off. You foolish then, because your mama been gone for a while. I've been telling y'all that for the longest. Many of us that can't recognize our family members is because they have been changed or cloned. I don't care what excuse they come up with, how much they cry, moan, and beg for patience and understanding. The bottom line is that, many of you guys need freedom from that. You need freedom from all of that chaos of your parents. You need freedom from the chaos of, their drug addictions and problems. You need freedom from that stuff. You should have it. Since they don't have freedom yet, that's why you don't have it. So, a lot of y'all elders and parents they just transfer all their bad energy to you instead of solving their issues and transmuting. Okay. That goes very, very deep. We're not going to get deep into that right now. Into those deep, intimate details of what is actually going on, the emotional incest, the instability, the forced celibacy, them trying to force celibacy, messing with your sexual hormones, messing with your butt, messing with your sacral, messing with your solar plexus, messing with all that. And these is people that you were supposed to trust. Now, what are they doing? Are they wearing masks? Okay, what are they doing? What's going on with this? What's up, Kiki? So, for me, the way that I see it, I'm not going to sit around and oh God, and so you're not going to get out of that unless you get rid of that damn contract. You can say what you're going to do all day, but you're going to end up sitting on that couch or you're laying in that bed with no energy to do nothing, feeling uninspired and half dead and sick, which is not good. Okay. You got to learn how to protect your energy. Yeah, we know that they are contracting your energy out. Okay, there's a solution for that. Okay, and believe in the solution. Have trust. There was a reason why we even know this information for you. And the reason why we know about this is because this is exactly what's going on. And you gotta not give a shit about, I'm sorry, when it comes to, me filling up my refrigerator with food, me filling up my pantry with food, me paying my bills, me flourishing. There is no debate about that at all. I'm not going to debate with nobody or play around with nobody because that's not your family member if they do anything to mess with your livelihood. If you have a family member or somebody that tries to kill you, you cannot necessarily trust them. It would have to be. It would take years and years. For me personally, somebody that had 5 or 6 years or 10 years to think about or rethink what they were doing in their behavior, but they continued to do it, and what they were doing was somehow causing some kind of emotional harm or physical harm to me, then and then especially when you've got little ones to look out for. Here, Jacob. Here, baby. Here's your plate. Mm-hmm. You want some milk? Okay. I'm drinking milk. But the now I know that different spiritualists have their different solutions, but the solutions that I have came up with seem to be the most effective. Okay, so and I think it's probably because I think that there are a lot of people that have a lot of issues with reasoning, so it creates reasoning issues and stuff. And so there, what you'll find is that echo that comes up, that okay, so when they did this, this caused this to happen, or when they did this, they caused this to happen, and so now I'm dealing with this because this person did this, and now I can't get this, or I'm having a hard time getting to this. It has a very, hold on, y'all gotta call. It has a very, very it makes things more difficult, that struggle, that having to go the extra mile, or either, you know what I'm saying, and it's kind of like that is what spirits want y'all to work on, because I'm gonna be honest with you, I think I'm gonna become totally flippant with the whole situation, and I'm probably not gonna continue to revisit this topic, uh, because I think that it gives that narcissist demon way too much power. I don't think that the narcissist demon is stronger than love at all. I am one of those people that believes that love conquers all. Okay. All right, guys, hold on a second. Give me a second, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Be right back. All right, y'all. I am back. I'm sorry I had to take that call real quick. I'm back. And like I said, I'm not gonna be here that long, but those moments of deja vu, or when you feel that echo or that ripple that seems to be coming back up, I feel like you have to also remind yourself, because I'm not even gonna lie to you, being under narcissistic attack is just like, it's war. It's a war on your mind, your whole life. I mean, it is just a trip. And I believe that these people are very consciously aware of the stuff that they do. What's up, Jacretia? Yeah. Yeah, I've always been one of them kind of forgiving people where I'd rather forgive and forget. But I think that sometimes you do actually have to let people know, hey, listen, you did something horrible. I'm not going to forgive you for that, because sometimes if you're too forgiving, people will try to take advantage of that. So, and they do. I feel like narcissistic people do kind of take advantage. And I think that the soonest that they are ready to get rid of those demons, their life will get better. Okay? I mean, just because somebody's narcissistic doesn't mean that you don't care about them, but at the end of the day, this is a person that is potentially can be very dangerous and devastating to your mind, body, and spirit. And a person can only be strong for so long. Okay, at some point, especially if it's a parent or a family member, if they keep pushing at you, at some point, you're gonna have to break. If especially if you right in front of that person. And so I think that that's that anxiety that people sometimes get. It'll come in the form of that anxiety, or it'll come in the form of all of your energy is being used to fight that person, but not towards your goals or what you want to do. So either way, they want to get you at both ends. It's kind of ridiculous, and they never stop. They can't stop because they want you to do what they want you to do. They want you to do it their way or the highway. Yeah. You have to do it the way you supposed to do it. They can't tell you how to do it, but they want to. Because the way that you wanted to do it was already the blueprint, but they have a problem with the way that you're doing it, even when it doesn't affect them directly. They still have a problem. It's like, well, this is pretty much karma free what I'm doing. What's your problem? Well, it bothers me. It bothers me to think that you're happy. It bothers them to think that you're secure. It bothers them. It does. They always got to do something. And it's because they are so insecure. So we already know that. That's something that we don't necessarily have to keep repeating to them, but just putting your focus on what you're supposed to be doing and letting them know at the same time, hey, listen, you got some changes that you need to make to the way that you are doing things. And then, yeah, but some people, you just leave them the hell alone. I think that if you have betrayal that is pretty bad from, I don't know, a lot of people, for me personally, I was completely 100% correct in everything that I had did. There was nothing wrong with the way that I did it. But as far as like with the decisions that I made as an adult for my life, why do they have to question it? Why do they have to act like they don't get it? Like they don't understand it? Really? You don't understand it? So for me personally, depending on what position you were in my life, if I were at a position where I was standing at a crossroads between this old life that I was living and the new life, and the new life was better, and you tried to stop me from doing that, I'm gonna have a hard time forgiving you, especially if you are supposed to be the person that is supposed to be doing the most to support you. So when it comes to a parent being a narc, your children probably more than likely ain't gonna never speak to you again. And you can't go and say, well, this person's mother was a narc and they spoke to them again. Well, that's not me. So a lot of people are no contact with their narcissistic parents, and they'll look at other people and they'll say, well, this person forgave their mother, and I'm like, I'm not forgiving you because you're still currently trying to actively attack me, and I have a lot of goals that you are trying to interfere with. Okay, so you have to stand up and be strong. You can't sit up here and they'll try to program you to be a kid again. You supposed to be a little you supposed to be a grown woman, and they infantilizing you and treating you like you a little kid. Yeah, exactly, Yanni. What's up, Yanni Smith, honey? Hello. So, and they're not gonna get their way. I think I ain't never seen a narcissistic mother as obnoxious as this one person. You can kick and scream and act a fool and talk crazy, but that child ain't gonna never speak to you again. If they don't want to talk to you, and if you don't leave them alone, that's basic science. You know what I'm saying? If you just leave them alone, because that's like the ultimate betrayal. Your parents are not supposed to ever betray you. Ever, ever, ever. As a parent, those are the standards, because what you could do to betray your child could kill them or hurt them in other ways. So you're supposed to be on point, and everything that you do is supposed to be in support of your child to make sure that they get the things that they need. If your child need to move to Tibet or Timbuktu, I don't give a shit if I needed to move to Africa. You supposed to support me. So those are the standards that I have set. Everybody has their right. Everybody also has the right to set new traditions in their families, better traditions. Everybody has a right to deal with their situation better. For example, the people that you have past relationships with, instead of trashing them publicly, you know, maybe try to talk to them. If they won't talk to you, then that, people be doing stuff like that on purpose because they want to see you react. So, narcs have a tendency to do that. They will set things up, do these weird cliffhangers, goddamn edge of night shit, and then you sitting up there and you just like, what the hell are you doing? It's really annoying, guys. I'm telling you. That what I don't like is that they think that they are smart or powerful, and I think that that's why I just tend to ignore them, because the fact that they're doing all of that stupid stuff, and the fact that they, number one, I'm gonna tell you something. You got to get to the point where you like, look, I'm gonna get mine. I'm gonna get all of mine. Everything that is meant for me, I will have, and I will show my teeth if I have to. If you are doing, if literally you have narcs trying to hijack your mind, body, and spirit, your life, infiltrate your shit, you got every right to stand up. You got every right to stand up, man. You got every right to say, hey, and but you know what? Again, there's a lot of people that have stood up, but they ain't went nowhere. So I feel like it's definitely witchcraft. It's a very manipulative form of witchcraft, but they will go there if they feel that they have to. And you have to be that person. You don't even, I'm literally at this point, I'm the strength card in the upright position. And when you get to that point, when you are strength upright, you don't necessarily have to be aggressive, but more so just consciously aware of the decisions that you make. You know what I'm saying? Like making sure that your mind is sharper so that you can deal with that is one of the biggest things to do, because you will be able to see things coming. You will be able to Make sure that you do the work. If you just sit around and not do anything, they will take your cars, they'll take your house, they'll take your kids, they'll take everything from you, and then they'll look at it, and then I've actually seen narcs convince people of their lie on them. Like, how can you allow somebody to convince you that something happened that never did? How can you do? It's so bizarre, guys. So the mind games and the tricks that they play, like I said, the devil is in the details. All you know is that you don't want to struggle. You want your life to be easy breezy. You want things to be easy peasy. And you all know that universally our parents wanted us to struggle because they felt like the struggle was it. And then also, many of them that worked for 20 or 30 years never went a goddamn place, told us that we was unstable because we didn't stay on our jobs long enough. Wow, there is no job security. That started years ago. And so then they look at us and they like, this bitch is manifesting money just out of the blue. And I'm sitting up here working my ass off, typing and I got a goddamn headache. And she just, and it's like, well, you know what? That's right. It's a new beginning. It's a new age. It's a new dawn. It's a new day. And they don't have a choice in the matter, i.e., Village of the Damned, even though in the movie they killed all those little special children at the end of the movie. But we all know that that's not actually, that movie was symbolic of the crystal indigo revolution. Children only, they demonized them really bad. Okay. Okay. And these children have spiritual gifts. We were born with them, and so were our children. I know that back when I was raising mine, good Lord, y'all, sometimes them kids got power. I had to go in the bathroom and just slide down the wall and just, because them kids, mama, 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 man. It wasn't just the kids, it was everything else. Like, I know exactly what y'all be going through, especially when y'all got all them little kids and stuff. Because out of that, I got like, I had stair steps. My children were, yeah, they were back to back. So I don't, I'll tell you that you got to be able to leave that stuff behind. You do, because it's not going to get no better. It's just like that movie that I showed y'all called The Curse. Hit that thumbs up, by the way, guys, while y'all at it. I can't see the ratings anymore, but yeah, it's just like that. Sometimes it's just unfortunate. I definitely feel that everybody has to save their own ass, but when it comes to your kids, and the great mother is judging us as parents, and she's been judging me very fairly, because I can honestly say that all of my children are doing good, as far as mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, and that's something that was my intent for them. You know what I'm saying? That was my intent. If you're a parent and all you got is hatred and contempt for your child, and you constantly every single day from the time you wake up in the morning, you feeding your child this bad spiritual energy, at some point that child gonna cut the cord from your ass. Okay. At some point, and cutting cords, I'm telling you, you're not supposed to necessarily always let them tear up your relationships with other people too. That's another thing that a lot of y'all do. Y'all allow that to tear down y'all relationships with other people because of paranoia, because of the stuff that they send in y'all. And there's people in your life that can sometimes be like, wait a minute, I care about you. I love you. What are you talking about? But if you have a narcissistic parent, you can definitely get it twisted. So y'all have to understand that they have not affected y'all socially as bad as y'all think. Because there are still people that, want to know you. They want to get to know who you are. They want to get to know, you know what I'm saying? They want to be in your life. Okay, let's put it like that. So it's still people that want to be there, but the narc demon will convince you that don't nobody like you, everybody hates you, and that's a lie. So then you walk around with this chip on your shoulder, broken. And that's when you're broken, when you give up on happiness and fulfillment. And that's something that Jamila ain't never going to give up. No. Because they have. For me personally, now I believe that the curses is within these marriages, within these churches and justice of the peace, some kind of corruption. Because the fact that I didn't ever get married, for some reason, it kind of makes me a virgin in a sense to as far as marriage. So I got like a clean slate. And then especially I would never get married in a church, thank the goddess. Or there's a lot of people that don't trust church weddings and government weddings. And that's usually the most popular. But I think that when you are walking the right path with your spirits, that's going to lead you down something different, because you're going to be subconsciously aware that you shouldn't get married that way. At least some of us. So there's some of us that probably come from a certain bloodline that ain't supposed to. We ain't got to rock with that. Okay. So but if you were somebody like our parents that married and divorced, and they real bitter, they never could move on. So they wanted you to hurry up and go through that cycle too, but they wanted you to go through it earlier than them, because they were still holding on to this person that there's no way they're going to get them back, because they're in a contract. They're chained by a demon. Okay. They're chained to a demon. So, they try all these tactics. It doesn't work. They still end up alone. So they look at you and they see that you have a young family, you have young children, and they say, oh, well, this will make me feel better. My child is supposed to be going through this too. And that is exactly what they will do. This is a fact. If you look at it, they want you to go through all of the pains and psychological shit that they went through. The only difference is that I'm not going to go through that the same way that you went through. That would be just like, and those are, they're demonic. I'm sorry, guys. That would be just like the slaves, the ancestors. Hold on. That would be just like a negative slave spirit that wants you to experience pain and degradation like they did. You're supposed to want better for the children of the future. Okay. And for me personally, I'm changing that cycle for me, not just my children, but for me as well. Mm-hmm. Because they told me, they was like, oh, well, you 30 now, it's over. I don't think so. Remember when I first got to Georgia, I was 30. How old was I? 37 when I first got here. And they were like, oh, well, your life is over. It's like, no, my life is just beginning, is what you say to them. Because the elders, they want you, they do, I swear to God, it's throw your cards, they'll tell you. Ain't nobody lying on you. And then a lot of us come from them nasty, disgusting, embarrassing families where you got all the women trying to sleep with your husband. It's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting what that demon has done to people. And it's done nothing but led to instability. You can tell people that manifest together and they stay together and they don't allow outside bullshit in their lives. You can tell because they're very, very, I don't know, not just stable financially, but also happy and fulfilled. It's a continuation of a negative cycle that is not going to work well. And if you have children in their 20s or teens, you have to break that cycle now. Otherwise, your kids are going to hate you because they're going to see the problem. You're going to be blind to it. A lot of people that don't want to listen to what I'm saying when they should, and their lives would be so much easier and better. You know? So you have to decide, because you'll be in the same boat. You'll be off somewhere in a nursing home dying alone. With bed sores. Then you can't mistreat your kids because you're going to need them one day. People that do that are foolish or either just evil or either just demonically possessed. If they were not demonically possessed, we would not be having this conversation. We wouldn't be having, we've been talking about this for years. And it's just ridiculous because they're not living no real life. Yeah, well, you know what, Kiki, the elders, especially with I can definitely see that with the elders, but and I think that especially for the Black community, they have to be particularly careful, particularly stable within their situation because we were the ones that were greater affected. Okay, but then again, other races have been affected. I mean, I've seen I tell you that there's a couple of different things: drug addiction, incest, violence, okay, and alcoholism are four of the main ones. There's other ones. If you find narcissism, you're going to almost find that at least emotional incest because, I think that once a woman flowers and gets to a certain age, it's improper for your father to be hovering over your vagina. But we know that men still do that. Why? Because they're looking for something energetically from their child. That's her vagina. Let her go and do what she wants to do with her vagina. As long as she's not out there hurting herself, but a lot of y'all narcissistic parents, they feel like you ain't even supposed to use your vagina. Something is wrong with these people. They're mentally ill. So you don't go and just, it's absolutely ridiculous. And you know what? I am tired of the abstinence. I am tired of the waiting and the anticipating. I'm tired of it. That's why I do shit real quick. When it comes to realigning my life, I do it real quick. And because that's some bullshit. And then I've seen Black people use racism against other Blacks. Oh, you ain't worth a damn. You just a Black bitch. You ain't worth nothing. Wow. It wasn't because of my behavior or my character. It was just because I was Black, just out the gates, huh? So you got Black people that got issues out there. And they think that it hurts you. It's like, well, if I cared about you, yeah, something like that probably would hurt, but you realize that you hurting yourself far worse than you hurting me. Because everybody got to deal with that judgment. So a lot of people, what I would suggest to you is clean it up. Clean it up. Okay? Because I'm telling you, they coming to judge. And they have laid down their judgment on what they're going to do, and it's already been mapped out. And as far as with this whole election is concerned, that's some extra shit that they got to deal with. But the main concern would be giving yourself freedom and liberation from that kind of stupidity. Because, in my opinion, you are dealing with somebody's broken and demonic inner child, as well as their inability to grow up and be an adult and be responsible. And I think that that's the last thing that universally we are working on would be the heart chakra, which is why there's a lot of people that are having breathing problems, chest pain, heart disease, chest congestion, chest heaviness, people. And so that's what's happening. But people are so demonic that that's the first thing that thing does is take over your mind to the point where you don't want to listen. Okay, so it's very important because if you do not let your ancestors grace you and bless you and let them bring you that crown chakra energy, you're going to be one of them people that's running around here blind, crippled, and crazy. Don't know what they doing, think they know what they doing, think they know something, and they know nothing. Because if they knew anything, they would know that the rate that they're going is not going to end up with other people being killed or hurt or anything. Is going to end up hurting them, because I've been seeing insta karma on people. We got We got something called insta karma these days. So these people ain't just getting away with doing some foul ass shit like that. Okay. Y'all make sure that y'all stay focused on your goals and stop pushing away your resources. You know, when they were trying to isolate me, I'm like, well, you're just taking away people's resources because I'm a medium and these people's ancestors can come through me. So you're not only trying to get on my damn nerve, but then you're trying to stop me from my life purpose. How well do you think that's going to work out for those people that's doing that? Especially when you are taking the temple path or a spiritual path, they can't do nothing to stop that. And especially when it comes to evil, because evil is evil being able to hurt you is really an illusion. Okay, for evil just to like you just kind of sitting there chilling and then all of a sudden it's no different than when you think about the nuclear apocalypse or or either the Holocaust or something. So I believe that it's coming in through spirit. I believe that once you open up the doorway or you open up the gateway, I believe that there is a certain amount of energy that you're going to have to clear off of yourself or either make peace with. And so this is one of the reasons why I've been helping people, because there are a lot of people that need help. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, my allergies are messing with me today. So I know y'all probably can guess that's why I'm muting, because I'm blowing my nose and snorkeling and stuff. So anyway, and I want y'all to stop thinking so negatively about the situation, but negative thinking, that's a curse. If you think negatively, you're cursed. If you always have something negative to say or do, that is a curse, because that is what you are going to manifest is negativity. Okay. And it is very, very different from somebody that you're attacking telling you to leave them alone. Okay, many people that are on the wrong side think that they on the right side and that they are just going to be protected, but you're not. If somebody has asked you over and over again or told you over and over again, warned you over and over again, don't try to trespass on my family. I don't give a damn who you done talk to. I don't care who you know. You need to let them get at me. Okay. What are you talking about, little boy? I like it. No, sure it is, Mr. Man. I gotta go, y'all. Jacob then came down here and got to messing with me. You know that's rude to say that somebody's food looks nasty. So, down here. So be careful not to get caught up in their moon attacks, fakery, and fuckery. They like to use things as a distraction. Also, some of y'all have been contracted out to vampires and succubuses. If your mother and father belong to a church, perhaps they didn't pick the demon, perhaps pastor did, but it came in through that church. And you got to be the sacrifice for this demon to feed off of you. And that ain't right. Okay? And you got to go down. You got to get that contract and destroy that shit. And most of the time, we do have to destroy the entity. Most of the time, unless it's a higher level demon. If it's a higher level demon, then the only thing that we can do is negotiate, which it doesn't, depending on who you are, because sometimes I'm gonna be honest with you. If you a weak-willed person, you can't do this. You can't do this. If you have a weak will or a weak heart, I remember when I first started doing traveling throughout the etheric realm. I remember my heart had to get stronger because of that. You know, doing exorcism and stuff and doing that, and you do get stronger, but and it does seem to increase your power. But if you find yourself, you know, when you notice that ripple comes through, then that's when spirit is sending a signal to you for you to, you know, set that intent for yourself. Okay, that's when spirit is sending you that signal. So you don't go off into, oh, well, I feel this type of way or that type of way. No, you go and you do the transmutation process, and it is a process. Okay. So, you know, and then also you know, you can, I mean, some people will just be burning candles every single day for the rest of their lives sometimes. Some of y'all, especially if you have an active principle that has a stake in your energy. So anytime your energy is being contracted, you should be upset because a lot of that energy, you needed that energy. Okay, you've been thinking about starting your own business, but you know, you already work full time or either part time or whatever it is that you work, but all your energy is drained to the capacity to where you don't even have nothing except for what's left for that. So you go to work and you come home and then you just through. You can't realize your dreams and aspirations because not only work takes a certain amount of energy, it's not even work. It's not even work that's taking the energy. It's that demon that is connected to your bloodline that's feeding off of hell. Some of the some contracts got both the men and the women. A lot of the contracts got the women and the children. Everybody is affected by it. Everybody. If you're from the younger generation, you know that it's got to change. Even, you know, and you know that you can't go along with that. That's disgusting. And then a lot of y'all got these people in your family, they got sacrificed and they will haunt the shit out of you. Oh my God. I don't mean to cuss so much, guys. I'm sorry if I'm cussing too much because that's something that I've been wanting to stop doing so much. So please forgive for the cussing. Because I know that cussing can make people assume that you're not intelligent. And I don't want people to assume that I'm not an intelligent person. Honestly, it's a bad habit. They taught me how to cuss as a kid. My my aunt is such a sweet person. You know, they're just they're who they are. And so they taught me how to cuss when I was like 1 years old, y'all. So please forgive me. It's something I'm trying to change that about myself because I know that that's, you know, even when I listen to myself, when I go back, it's something that, you know, there's a more intelligent way of expressing yourself other than, you know, cursing and stuff. So, but it does make you curse. It does because it's so preposterous. And you know a lot of people, you know, because they'll say I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and it's been 5 or 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 20 years, you still ain't did nothing, you still ain't went nowhere. Okay, hey Mia, hello. Mm-hmm. So it is annoying, but what I can tell you is that if they get you to the point where you're irritated or upset, then that's where the feeding has begun. And everybody that has those spirits, those vampiric spirits, and so vampires and psychic vampires, they are actually probably some of the most harmless, but they're being used. So keep in mind that these particular, you know, manifestations are being used, but in reality, the energy that is being stolen is being used for another species altogether. So we are not at the top of the food chain. Okay, we're not on this planet. So and spiritually, I believe that for thousands of years we've been in bondage in every way. And I think that it's gonna happen. The revolution has already happened, but they can only front or pretend that it hasn't. But it has happened. Okay. Because to be honest with you, the Narc demon and also even the reptilians, they lost control years ago, a couple of years ago, a few years ago. But they want to convince you. It's almost like a Jedi mind trick, and then also they mix other stuff with it because I'm gonna be honest with you. As a witch, for me, I am capable of good and evil. And when I say evil, that means to whose perception would I be evil? To a fucked up individual that's trying to do harm to you, or to a demon, I'm evil because I'm destroying its plot and its plan. But to people that I help, I'm good. So that's why, even God is considered to be good and evil, okay? Or the universe is considered to be good and evil because it's definitely all about balance, okay? And I told y'all to start making sure that y'all work with that 50% moon to start balancing yourself out and balancing out life, period. Because one of the biggest mistakes that they made, in my opinion, was telling women to not have a man in their life. That was a huge mistake. That's one of the ways that it gets you because, and trust me, the older that you get, it starts to cause imbalances in your body. Okay. So that within itself was bad. But at the same time, nobody is understanding each other. And that's a huge problem. So then it leads to issues, problems, chaos, and then people not getting closure. But if you ain't got closure yet, you ain't supposed to get closure because it's something else you're supposed to be looking at. And many of y'all that are children of narcs, you meet somebody, you walk away. Bridges is burning. Why is the bridge burning? Why? For what? Why can't you work that out with that person? Why can't you break the cycle? You have to. So that's why a lot of y'all have not gotten closure on your last relationship. And you're not, because you're not judging correctly. Okay. It wasn't meant for you to your whole entire life run. And then everybody that came around, as soon as they said something, you ran off and got scared. It was meant for you to be challenged in that situation. So for you to just say, oh, everybody bad, I'm just gonna walk away from everybody and everybody in the end of the world is coming. But that's not reality. So that's how probably a huge percent of the population is looking at it. And that's something that has to stop because you're going to have to come back to repeat this again. Trust me, because you did not handle what you were supposed to handle. I believe we're coming back anyway. In fact, when I'm done with this life, I already know that, especially being that I was consciously aware of everything that was wrong and why, and I was able to do something about it. My next lifetime gonna be fabulous. You know what I'm saying? So don't think of it as that way. When a demon or a negative spirit has convinced you that you shouldn't appreciate your life, then you'll just sit there and just let it suck you dry. And we all know that that's exactly what it's doing. Because it takes a lot of energy to do a lot. But if all of, like, let's say that you wake up in the morning and you're at 100%. Let's say that you, even if you was at 80% or 70%, and you took 40% of your energy and did some stupid shit with it, what do you think is going to happen to the rest of it? You're going to have missed opportunities. You're going to have missed problems. You just going to have problems because you're totally distracted. And a lot of people got their mind totally in the gutter. Totally in the gutter. And you ain't going to get nowhere as long as you in that gutter. You're going to have to rise up out of that sewer. For real. And, and it ain't fun down there. It ain't fun either. Okay, guys, hold on a second. Hold on. Hold on real quick. Okay, y'all, I'm back. I'm sorry. I had to go handle something real quick, and I had forgot to unmute. So going back to the whole thing, um, at some point, for me, I've never liked. I've actually, you know what, guys, I've never kind of lived in that environment. And even though my family would do certain things, it wasn't every single day, and it wasn't like near about I couldn't imagine, but I can definitely empathize with people that have done that. It probably programs your brain to have like a certain brain pattern. You know what I'm saying? So and to me, I feel that when I see those people behaving that way, it's unfulfillment, it's unhappiness. What is the point in being here and only pretending to be happy? Because that's all. You can't ever say, "Oh, I'm happy," but at the same time, I feel the need to try to make someone else miserable or try to destroy somebody. Well, then you're not happy. You're just putting all of your vices and your problems and your hatred into this one person, which could either be your child. Sometimes it can be people's children. So I mean, and I remember a few years ago, first of all, people assume that when you are a single mother that your life is just miserable and you just sitting there crying and what is I gonna do? And I ain't never been that type of person. But I could imagine that if a person is like that, they may feel as though, how can I be in this position? Society is not going to accept me. But it's not about whether or not society accepts you. You can find people within society to accept you. I think that for me, especially narcs, the way they try to make it seem like it's, oh, you just want to be down with us. And it's like, no, actually, I'd rather kick it with a totally different group of people that are real and genuine, a genuine person. So I think that when we can truly like just close it out and we just ain't never got to talk about that no more. God only knows what we are going to start getting accomplished when you're not waking up every day to that bull crap. And it because that's all that it is. It's pointless and it's nothing when you think about it. But it is something because you do have to pay attention to why they are doing it. Why is it so important for them to try to do something to disparage you or upset you? It is meant to get your heart chakra going, to get your juices flowing so that they can come and feed off of you. And for me personally, I'm going to tell you something. If somebody told me, oh, I feel like you're vampiric, Jamila, I feel like you be doing stuff and you be trying to feed off of people, I would have to wake up to myself and be like, what the hell am I doing? Then again, I guess there could be different species of people that need different things to survive. But when you think about it, if you are somebody that's trying to protect your own energy, you are going to do what it takes to make sure that you survive that situation. So it is really about survival of the fittest. It really is. Hey, and you got to find like for me, I was like, oh, somebody please show me to let's go to the end of the road. And it's not the end of life. They act like, oh, well, you got to deal with this to the day that you die. No, the hell I don't. I will subconsciously and consciously block your ass out every single day because I'm too distracted. I'm getting everything that I want. I've built myself up, okay, to the point where I don't have to have those fears. I've definitely, so you can say that to yourself and, they'll try to make it seem like it's the loneliest place in the world, but it's not because eventually, because yes, they did hurt you socially. Yes, they did. They tried to do things to mess with you socially. And you just have to pick yourself up and go and start over somehow. Okay. It's nothing wrong with starting over, meeting new people. Because, and trying to keep, like, I don't think you should mix the company either. People are just weird and they're not going to accept spiritual advice. So you can't talk to them. They're not going to, in fact, they'd rather call you crazy. Okay. I was being stalked. I was being targeted. I was being lied on. It was a smear campaign, but they called me crazy because I told them why. You're possessed by a demon. You're crazy. Okay. Okay. Well, and that's really all you have to say. All the details, all the argument and stuff that you're breaking down some damn like I made a promise to myself. I am not arguing with nobody or acknowledging any damn thing that is not the truth anymore. That's how they get more of their energy, these damn vampiric people. Accuse you of something that's a lie, and then you just go, I ain't did nothing, I ain't do nothing. Then you be talking and talking and talking. Then they get to feeding off a throat chakra energy. Get okay. That's how I feel about the situation because, until I'm not saying to just push people away forever, but damn, you know, it gets pretty irritating, especially when people try to act like they don't know what's going on spiritually. So keeping those spiritually sound people around is definitely important, because there's a lot of stuff that I'm not even gonna discuss on YouTube as far as with what we're dealing with, because some of this stuff is very, very sacred information. And either you're meant to wake up in this life or not. I feel like if it ain't my husband or one of my children, or a good friend of mine, that I'm not going to sit up here and destroy my life trying to pull somebody out of a situation where they refuse to even try to pull themselves up. If somebody's hanging off of a cliff and you have their hand and they're dangling there and they want you to save them, don't they have to pull themselves up and help you? Yes, they do. So they have to save themselves, basically. You can be their foundation, but they got to be able to pull themselves up off of that cliff. It ain't supposed to ever be no damn dead weight. Okay. And you know how they say God helps those that help themselves. So, okay. Yeah, unlearn and relearn. You're right. You're right. Hey, Prince of Presence. Hello. Prince of Presence says it's all part of the spiritual war. I was going to say something, Prince of Presence, but I'm not going to say it because it wouldn't be appropriate for this discussion. But I will say this: we need to make love and not war. Because some of y'all are just fighting over other people's energy, and you can't fight over other people's energy. Cultivate, grow your own energy, and you never have to worry about it. Okay. So sometimes in a spiritual war, like people will get caught up in this spiritual war, sometimes you are just at war over other people's energy and not your own. So we got to be careful not to do that too. Okay, because I've been hearing about this spiritual war. Spirit keep telling me that this was supposed to like get better or something. Like I don't think we were supposed to be in a spiritual war for the rest of our lives. I mean, just think of that word war. Okay. I realize that that we are fighting for our own energy, but I think that we don't we don't have to be afraid, like that paranoia to where people be trying to make you think that they gonna do something or they gonna do some type of way. Man, you can't, because that's how people can control your mind. Sometimes if people are at war, they'd be like, well, okay, and then also we've been at spiritual war since this president, and this has been the most evil time in history. So I think that I think that it's we're just having a past life regression. is what I think. And I think that those spirits or those that that cord that connects us from this life to the lifetimes before that. Okay. So that's mainly the issue. Hey there. Yeah, you can't be afraid. You can't be scared of what they might do to you. Like what like I don't know, for me, I'd rather not be here than to let somebody take away my freedom and my liberation and my liberties and my personal happiness and freedom. What's the point in being here? What's the point? So that's why you end up being sacrificed. And there's a lot of people that are sacrifices, and you'd be surprised at where they end up and what happens to them. So if you are targeted as the sacrifice, you do want to take that seriously. But then again, you don't want to ever let them make it seem like it's an end game. They're always trying to say, oh, this is the end game. I'm going to continue to try to destroy you. Well, you can't destroy me. So what's the point in me continuing to war with you? I put up my defense magic, my protection, and live life. I'm going to share something with y'all. Before 2015, every single day of my life, I would wake up. It was almost like bubbles was just, it was like bubbles and sparkles and shit. I woke up every day with spirit fingers. I mean, it was amazing. And I felt good every single day. And it wasn't no arguing. It just, can you imagine folks that's arguing every day? You would have to have somebody there to do everything else that needs to be done, because sometimes, going through that stuff, that just wear you out. You don't have no time to enjoy life. I couldn't imagine living that way. And I think that it's all about what's going on in the individual person's mind. So, for example, if you actually decide to live within that, I was caught up in something earlier today to where I had to do some ritual and stuff, and it's kind of like at some point there's going to be a morning after or some kind of resting period, because all of us have been stretched to the max. And so it's time for us to start fighting for peace, because I don't want war. Yeah, I'm willing to fight over what is mine, but why the hell I'm not going to fight over what's mine, cuz it's already mine. So why I got to fight over it? You know what I'm saying? So when you think about war, war is when you're fighting over something. Well, I'm not fighting over anything. So, that's what I'm saying. And I won't. Everything that I wanted, I got it and I claimed it and it's mine. So, to be honest with you, really a lot of y'all, really all y'all had to do was sit up there on y'all throne with y'all crowns on and said, well, because it ain't about getting yours, it's about keeping it. It's about keeping. And I feel like with 2020, everything is for keeps this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that drastic. So I'm hoping that, well, not hoping. For me, I'm setting the intent, and I'm not gonna speak it because God knows, that, and it's crazy because even like the people that were at war with me, um, I don't pay attention anymore. Like I don't care. You start to realize, what the hell am I doing? It's just a waste of energy, because and you're just giving that person your energy, basically. I mean, I feel like this, especially dealing with other people, say what you got to say, stick and move for real. Say what you got to say and dip. Okay, standing there arguing with somebody back and forth. Listen, I'm not running for president. I'm not having no damn presidential debate, so I don't have to do that. Okay. I want to sit up here and get pampered and get my feet done. I'm not trying to be out and be nobody's soldier either. So that's another thing that as women, especially black women, yeah, but like, and it's not just black women because like I was telling y'all, my Irish that I have is Viking. So those women were warriors. They were very powerful, but they were also protected by the men in their tribe. They only went out there and fought because they had to. They wasn't just out there just, and then also what are you fighting for? What is this fight about? What is this about? What am I fighting over? And so I just, and for my own energy, well, that's for keeps. That's mine. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of people that feel that way, they really ain't owned it. They really ain't owned the things that they have accomplished and gotten for themselves. They really have not accepted it, because if you are somebody, let's say that you buy a freaking 10, 12 bedroom mansion, but you go down to the hood every other day and dodge bullets, that doesn't make any sense. You have already crossed over to where you can live a better life, so why go back? So that's how I feel about that. Some people probably would not agree with that, but it is what it is. Okay, I don't want to be caught up in negativity. Nobody wants that, but if I have to fight, I will. Okay, but at some point it is important to just kind of, you put your intent out there, especially with me, y'all. If I have any problem, I do spiritual work on it. I don't redo rituals over and over again for myself. That's stupid, because once you've done it, it's done. The only thing that you should have to redo probably is money work, because they're always trying to block money from intelligent women. They want you to be whores and stuff, and they want you to do things disparaging so that they can degrade the divine mother and the divine feminine. But I'm not gonna sit up here and allow people to take me off of my square anymore. I'm sorry, I just can't do it, or my throne. I'm not gonna do it, because when you keep going, when you have reached a certain level in your mind, okay, it don't matter what nobody else think. It's all about you. Then you can choose to say, "Hey, I don't want nothing to do with that situation, deuces," because you're unstable. A lot of y'all that have obtained stuff, y'all got stable, crazy people from y'all past that are trying to vandalize your shit. They trying to mess up your stuff. They for some reason, because money manifestation or manifestation of whatever was difficult for them, they felt like they wanted to hate on your stuff. So I'm not going to be missing those people that are that ignorant to do that, because we all supposed to be having something. And no man is supposed to be sitting there saying, "Oh, well, you're a woman, you're a single mother, you ain't supposed to have nothing, or you this or you that, or you ain't supposed to have nothing." That to me is that curse of patriarchy. And it's also a transgression from the past. And see, I gotta go, guys, because my phone is only on like 13%. So I'm gonna go before it gets too low. And so I do want to talk more about past life transgressions. It's kind of never a good time to talk about these things on YouTube, because there's always negativity or negative people on YouTube. So there's never a good time. I've been trying to find a good time to do this and a good time to do that and to talk about certain things. We just gonna talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I you technically you don't necessarily have to hold your tongue to save somebody's feelings unless you are tripping. But I think that it's important for us to talk about exactly what the hell has been going on, so that people can be clear, and so that the communication can be clear, instead of people, avoiding and being in denial. That's one thing that I don't like, is being in denial. That I can't do that, because it's fake. Okay, that's when you're faking yourself out and you're psyching yourself out, literally. So You right about that, Kiki. You're right about that, Prince of Presence. But people do try to steal energy. I have caught people. I've actually caught people trying to be me. They wanted to literally be me. Like, that's where you're trying to steal somebody else's identity. What the hell? What's wrong with your own identity? So that's where I have a problem with. And I have seen people switch and transfer spirits. I've seen people do all kind of stuff, spiritual transference and stuff. So it's out there. And I don't think it's necessarily human, because human beings don't necessarily have to do things like that. Human beings normally don't have to do that. Okay. I just think that they can affect human beings, okay, in a negative way. It's very difficult to figure out who is the actual demon and who is just being possessed by a demon for some people, you know? So, anyway, guys, I gotta go. I hope y'all enjoyed this. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Make sure that y'all get into Salwane. You guys have a week left until then, and then we'll be closing the circle. So make sure that you guys get in that for protection, and then also for extra stuff, because the spirits have been doing so much. They have been creating so many miracles. They have been opening so many doors. And, you know, I swear, if you are doing the right kind of witchcraft, you should not have nearly anything to complain about. You know what I'm saying? Unless something is going on, something else. Okay. So y'all can get into Sal Wayne, and then all of the links are below if y'all need to reach me. Okay. Alrighty then. Love and light, peace and blessings to all of y'all. Love y'all. And see y'all next time. Bye bye. Have a good weekend.